Isabel says CJ is always willing to buy fish, but he's only willing to buy them after you do something for him. King from Gala, Steven, I was thinking, saw something in the store I liked, but I thought it would look so much better on you. Went ahead and bought it because I'd like to see if I'm right. If you do like it, I'd love to have you model it for me. Let me know, Gala. Okay, what'd she buy us? What did she buy us? A career jacket. That's like the 4th one of those I've got. I mean, she's not wrong, but I'm wearing a dress now. For now. Can't stop me. That's what I'm doing. So I don't think my webcam's exactly centered, but it's fine. I don't really care, man. Yes, I am recording closer to noon. I could have probably recorded sooner if I had actually gotten up when I woke up initially, which was like 8. But I just went back to bed. Didn't actually get up until like 2. It's nice of you to stop by, but I'm kind of preoccupied just now. Jamaican. Currently crafting a classic library wall, just to see how I do at it. Anyway, it's a great way to learn by doing. Totally obsessed with it. Wait, someone tells me you already know how to make a classic library wall. Yep. Not surprised. Never fail to impress, Rambler. Just do it yourself out there. You must know it. Do it yourselfer out there who wants to learn how to make it. I mean, I kind of don't though. So I'm just gonna sell it to the Nooklings. And I do have something to ramble about today. So, end of the month, Magic the Gathering is going to be rotating its sets. Which is something it does semi-regularly. I don't actually know how often they do it. I think the next set rotation is actually going to be like 2027. So like, it's going to be a while. Which will be nice, given I just crafted some cards from the current next set of sets that's going to be rotated. Not the one that's rotating, but the next set. Just to keep my Angel deck kind of alive. Immediate money rock again. Okay. Because yeah, as you might guess from that, I basically had to remake my Angel deck. The white-green Angel I was using, that was effectively my win condition, has rotated. Well, it's going to rotate. By the beginning of next month, I will not be able to play it anymore. So I've just modified the deck early. And by that, I mean completely changed its win condition, basically. Which is really annoying, honestly, and is probably my least favorite thing about Magic compared to, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! And, like, I know, the argument there from Magic players would be, well, but if sets didn't rotate, then there'd be so much power creep, except it kind of wouldn't be. Not if you do it right. Like, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has experienced a massive boom of power creep recently. But you want to know how recent that power creep burst was? That more or less went, okay, yeah, if you're playing an old deck, you're probably not going to do well. Basically like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Like, there were some ancient decks that, yeah, you would struggle to play. Steven, how are you? Blah. I want to chat. So for sure, never fails to cheer me up. Blah. That is fair. So, like, if you wanted to play Cosmos, like, 2 years ago, yeah, you might struggle with Cosmos. That's mostly because Cosmos just simply hadn't gotten really any support post-launch. They were a decent deck once upon a day, and they could still rogue tier it. You're just not going to be top in a tournament with them a couple years ago. And like, Ojamas were never good. They were never meant to be good. They're Ojamas. If you've ever seen an Ojama, you know that's not a creature meant to be good. That is a creature meant to repulse you. There's our bottle. Like, honestly, it's kind of sad to say, but a lot of the major boom in power creep that we've had has happened post Kazuki Takahashi's death. So it really feels like he had plans on a power curve, and the people who took over in his place don't. To whoever's into strange bottles, I was cleaning my house and found this old DIY recipe I thought up. Whoever you are, I hope you're in the mood to craft up a brainstorm. Try it and see what happens. Now get to work, Avery. It's a kettle bathtub. But, like, you could make power creep not a problem by, one, just having a ban list to ban out really powerful old cards. Make them just simply not playable. Like, you know, you're not gonna hop into Yu-Gi-Oh! And play Pot of Greed. You're just not gonna do it. You're not able to. You know. Apparently I was offline. Eddie, hang in as long as you want. My salsa is your salsa. What's the latest? We dug up some fossils yesterday. What fossils were they? Those fossils, there must have been dinosaurs here. We moved here too. Well, we moved here too late. We could be riding dinosaurs. I mean, it would have been like thousands of years ago to actually ride dinosaurs, but I think it's more we were born too late, Simon. But like, you ban problematic cards to keep power creep in check. Especially when you do get a problematic card that didn't seem problematic on the surface or at the time of its release. Like, there's a classic example in Yu-Gi-Oh! Of Snake Rain. If there is ever a really good reptile deck, Snake Rain is going to need to be banned. Right now, it's basically useless because there isn't a good deck to play it in. For anyone who doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or does and just doesn't know what Snake Rain does, you discard a card from your hand to send 4 reptiles from your deck to the graveyard. It's literally 5 cards to your graveyard. Nah. Don't like that dress. What the... Okay, those look a lot different actually on your feet. Okay. Ooh, there is a blue one. It's really dark blue, though. Nah. Nah, nothing today again, girls. Steven, I just wanted to say thank you for always being there to help Label. She talks about you all the time, you know. Says the outfits you pick out are always super inspiring. Then she runs back here and starts sketching furiously. It's wonderful to see. You've done so much for all 3 of us. Thank you from the roots of my quills. Again, I've not done anything for Mabel other than help her sisters, and I want... Nintendo, please. Give us in the next Animal Crossing something to help Mabel with. Hey CJ, I'll deal with you later. I want to get through all my morning routine first. Yo, you been training, Colonel? I just want to chat, man. Don't forget to cool down after a workout. You don't want to overheat, Colonel. Plus, it helps building even more muscle. I mean, that is fair. Steven, hey, nice to see you. What's the latest? Glad you're never too busy to check in with me. Well, of course not. Like, at the very least, I feel like my Angel deck is more concise now in Magic. And definitely will be throwing people for a loop. Because I've basically transitioned to a life gain variant. So even though I'm pure white, I'm playing a few lands that basically are... They're multicolor, but they gain me a life upon entering. Because, like, I have one Angel that... I forget the name of it, but it basically reads... when, you know, if you've gained 5 life this turn, create an angel. Or create an angel token. Well, I also have, 1, these lands that gain me 1 life, and battle menu, which has the ability to gain me 4 life. So for a land drop and 2 mana, I can gain 5 life, which creates the angel token. Let's talk. Any place to pile up your unopened mail? Nothing beats an iron work table. That is fair. You should really be opening your mail, though. I say as if I send her stuff, but other animals probably send you stuff. I mean, I get you live out here in kind of the boonies of the town, but, you know. It's all the more reason for them to send you stuff. They don't have an easy way of getting to your house, because that's just where I randomly decided to put that house. Which, even with that, you can very much feel my bias when it comes to house placement, because randomness from a person isn't really random. Like, if I were to pull up the island map, like, you can see the bias I've got of everyone's kind of along the outside of the island. There's really, like, almost no housing in the middle. And that's where all the shops and stuff are. Like, literally the shops are cardinal directions. like the shops and, like, main buildings. So it's like, I did try to be kind of random, but it just, you can't really do it. I really should have actually done, like, a whole grid system and then, like, chose spots randomly. Come on in, Steven. My home's your home, Powder Puff. It's the latest. I like to write things by hand as much as possible. I know everything's gone digital, but I still feel like analog ways have their own charm. Writing down the time and date for some event in my pocket diary makes me more excited about it. Looking through all my old diaries is fun too. I treasure all of them. Aww. I mean, yeah, I've been writing things physically. Like, honestly, like, there's definitely things that doing it digitally is better. Like, I would argue it's probably better to do, like, say, a planner digitally, but a diary physically, you know? So, like, plan out your day digitally and then write about it later physically kind of thing. I feel like that is the more practical way to go about it. Mostly because doing a planner digitally means you can modify it. If something happens and you need to modify it, you can. If it's on paper, you can't as easily modify that. You can, but it's a lot harder. Pinky! Hey, my fabulous bestie. Thanks for chatting with me. Let's talk. Hi, Steven. Are you here to hang out with me? I mean, I am. I'm here to hang out with all of you. But, yeah, like, I've basically just tried to go through ways of, like, making it so I can proc that gaining 5 life easier. Just because, like, I needed a win condition. I also have an angel that every time I gain life gains a +1/+1 counter. So, you know, that'll be nice. Especially because that will be gaining +1/+1 counters on top of what Gaida will be giving it. So, you know, I'll be gaining quite the amount of +1/+1 on that creature. Which will make it a pretty big beat stick. The main thing I'm thinking of, though, is, like, my deck no longer has mass removal protection. Because I don't have Sigarda anymore. Sigarda was an awesome card. Like, it's a 4-drop angel with, I think it was 3/4 for its stats. White-green. All other permanents you control, aka all other cards you control, gain hexproof. Basically meaning, you need to use your removal on Sigarda before you can remove anything else. It made removing my big beat sticks take more than one piece of removal. It also meant that, say, if I was playing something like White Auracite, a card that says, you know, exile target thing your opponent controls until this leaves the field, well, now that has hexproof. You need to deal with Sigarda before you can get your thing back. You know, it basically meant you needed to use 2 pieces of removal to do what 1 piece would do normally, which is where I'm at now. Now it's only 1 piece of removal is needed, and that's worrying, because that's gonna make my removal weaker, because pure white does not have much in the way of removal. At least good value removal. There's always Get Lost, which is a 2-cost instant that just basically can destroy just about anything, but it gives your opponent 2 map tokens. These map tokens may as well read either add a land to your hand, or give +2/+2 to a creature. Admittedly, some people don't seem to understand how to do the give +2/+2 to a creature. They also don't seem to understand that you can leave the card on top of your library, and I'm kind of glad the few times I've had people not understand that. Because basically what a map token does is you look at the top card of your library after paying 1 mana, and if it's a land, you add it to your hand. If it's anything else, you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control, and then you can put that card into your graveyard. You don't have to do that, though. You could leave that card on top of your deck. So you can basically use them for digging through your deck. 50 bells. Okay, I was good to sell when I did. It's like you can use it for digging through your deck, or beefing up a creature and keeping a valuable card right on top of your deck. Which, you know, both are pretty valuable things to do. Or if you get a land, well, hey, there you go. You've deck thinned. 1 mana, draw a card at that point, basically. You know, you opted without the scrying. Like, it's... I hope that didn't come through the microphone. Somebody needs to fix their brakes. Love having somebody's vehicle brakes screech as they're stopping just outside your window. Always fun, that. Ugh, I hate it. Okay, let's put this stuff away. It's not as hot down here at the moment today, which is kind of nice. I mean, I'm still sweating a bit, which is like, it's not as bad today as it was yesterday. I'm still a bit glistening, though. Now, let's get my fishing rod out, then go talk with CJ, see what he wants today. Yeah, there's, from looking at some of the sneak peeks for the spoilers for the set releasing at the end of this month, there is actually a few angels in that I will probably see about trying to fit into my angel deck. One of which is a 1-cost angel that exiles a card from your opponent's hand. Your opponent can still play that card, but they have to pay 1 extra mana. So, you know, and given it's a 1-cost angel, it's a 2/1. That's it's really nice. Got a Seasports Challenge. What do you got this time? Freestyle day. 5 times in a row. Alright. So, like, that's definitely gonna find its way into my deck somehow. I don't know what I'm gonna remove for it, but that's getting in there in some way. Because, like, that's kind of amazing. Like, that right there is almost a counter to a lot of red aggro. I imagine that angel is gonna find its way into a lot of white decks. Just because it's basically a counter to aggro. Like, you know, red aggro is so powerful because everything is so cheap. So, if you can say, make that 1-drop haste prowess a 2-drop because it got exiled. Well, now you've slowed your opponent down. It also, if they exile a land, they can still play that land, but it comes into play tapped. So if they exile a tap land, then that's fine, but aggro decks don't play tap lands. So if they exile a land to keep their creatures going, well, suddenly they're now playing a tap land. They're still slowed down, which is how you fight an aggro deck. You slow it down. You prevent it from punching you in the face when it wants to punch you in the face. You make it punch you in the face when you want it to punch you in the face. And, like, the versatility of something like Battle Menu that I'm running in my deck right now is also a bit of a thing that can kind of put a bit of a kibosh on red aggro. Just simply because, like, one, it's an instant. I believe it's an instant. It might be a sorcery, now that I'm thinking on it. No, yeah, it is a sorcery. But it has the ability to either make a 2/2 token, gain 4 life, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater, and there was one other effect. I don't remember what the other effect is. But, like, it has a lot of versatility on one card. And it basically reads, if your opponent is playing aggro and gets a really big creature, blow it up. You know. If your opponent's playing aggro and hasn't made that big creature yet, but you just need 1 extra turn, just gain some life. Or make a blocker if they don't have anything with trample. You know. There's... Oh, Diva! There's our Diva. Diva! Zoop. Hoping I'd see you. It's the latest. Sometimes I get a craving for baked salmon and nothing. I mean, nothing else will do. Is fair? Let's come, I just noticed the AMD install manager is running on my computer. I guess there's a driver update. I don't want to sell things. I need to buy a fishing rod. I'm dumb. I'm dumb, boys. I have the stupid. Fishing rod. Okay. So I want to catch more fish. But, yeah, like... Whoop. I got looking at the screen, not listening. I definitely need to play the new deck I made more. I've only played one duel with it, and I ended up going against someone playing a crapload of Phyrexians. Clearly just trying to get the last hurrah out of that deck before it almost all rotates. And, like, I can't blame them. I really can't. Like... I don't mind the idea of set rotation if there was, like, more formats. You know? Like, let's say, you know, on top of, you know, like, let's say on top of having just regular standard, they also have, you know, historic standard, where you play a standard for a rotation, like a specific rotation. Admittedly, that would probably make most people not play regular standard, because most people are going to play the standard that has the cards they enjoy the most in it. So they could, at that point, instead of doing every rotation, do like every 3 rotations or something. They create a different historic standard for, you know, whatever block, or if there is a particularly popular standard, have that become a new standalone format. That would incentivize the card designers to not allow for stuff players don't like to get through testing. Because, you know, if the players aren't going to like it, they aren't going to play it, and thus they aren't going to buy the cards. The only reason people play bad formats now is because they have to if they want to keep playing Standard. You know. And I know the answer there is like, well, that's Modern. It's like, yeah, but Modern... Modern is a rotationless format, from what I understand. And you're going to be running into decks that are just simply stronger than a current Standard deck would be. Because often Wizards will do the Member Berries card, where it's basically... Effectively what that means is making a card that does something similar to a card that was really good in the past, but making it a lot worse. So, I can use a Yu-Gi-Oh! Example for this. And sometimes Member Berry cards can still be powerful and playable. I'm not saying they're not still powerful and playable. And this Yu-Gi-Oh! Example I'm going to give is one of those cases. So, you get Pot of Greed. Then you get Pot of Desires. Pot of Greed just says draw 2 cards. Pot of Desires says banish the top 10 cards of your deck, draw 2 cards. That is a Member Berries card. That is a card going, hey, remember Pot of Greed? Well, here it is. It's a little different. It's got a condition. It's got a cost now. Like, you know, that's a Member Berry card. Ironically, Pot of Desires is, I believe, either limited or banned right now, because who would have thought drawing 2 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of busted. Like, you know, you get stuff like that. Or they'll do things like, you know, hey, remember that 2/2 bear? You know, the baseline for what a 2-cost creature should be? Here's a 2/2 bear with an effect. It's like, okay. And then the next set, yeah, okay, we're just gonna go back to the 2/2 bear. It's like, okay. So then if you play a format that includes that 2/2 bear with an effect, and you're playing the 2/2 bear, well, the one with the effect is better than yours. And, like, they'll do that because, hey, that old bear got rotated, so no one can play that anymore in Standard, but they might still want to play with that basic idea of a card, so let's give them that basic idea, and, you know. It's, kind of wild how they'll go about things. Also, I ended up making my coffee way too strong today. I don't like it. But like... It is very much one of those things where it's like... I really wish that... At the very least, when they rotate things, they would give us something... equivalent. Mostly just because, like, there are some decks that I want to try, but I really can't because I don't have the cards to do it. I have one of these decks basically built for Modern, and that being a white-black angel deck. Because there used to be white-black angels. Which basically meant that you could play the white angels, getting all the benefit of those, while also playing these white-black angels and a few black angels, which the black angels were pretty cool, and black removal. White does not have great removal, but black does. Black has a lot of low-cost removal, which makes it really good to run as a side color. And, I mean, you could still, in theory, play a white-black deck with focus around angels that just uses a lot of black removal cards. But at that point, you are making the white angel side of your deck less consistent to run the black side. Unless you're running only black tap lands, or like dual lands kind of thing. You know, white-black dual lands. But in that case, now you're slowing the black removal half of your deck down by running only black tapped cards. So, you know, it comes down to basically a question of consistency. And how much you're willing to be inconsistent to gain... Whoop, wrong button. I need this button. What am I doing? Like, you know, how much are you willing to give up in terms of consistency to gain in terms of, you know, versatility? Because, like, you definitely, in a deck like that, would never want to run, like, a black removal spell that takes, like, black-black. Because the chances of you having black-black will be astronomically lower than just having a single black if you're just running a small handful of dual lands, so that you don't run into a case of not having the white mana for casting your white angels. I already caught 5 in a row. I caught 5 in a row a few times, actually. I did not consent to that, CJ. I want you to delete those. But okay. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 fish. And I do have this and this, which are pretty pricey. 20,000. I'm gonna say 20,000. 47th, I should have known. Probably the shark on its own was 20,000. I need to just start doubling my guesses. That would work. I'm really bad at guessing how much those are gonna be. But, you know, that's fine. But I do think that is going to be it for today. I need somewhere I can sit on this side of the island. Because all my places to sit are, like, way over here. But, you know, I haven't sat in this stump for a while, I don't think. Or no, I have, but that's fine. That is going to be it for today. I've rambled enough about Magic, and this has been a decent length episode, so I thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Horizons. See you all then! And now in this end card, I'd like to ask, if you liked the video, could you maybe hit the like button? And if you're not subscribed, could you maybe subscribe? It'd help me out a lot. Thanks a bunch.